we all join engineering with a hope that we will get a good job to sustain our family and to have a comfortable life. But in this era of AI, the same job that was regarded as a very prestigious job, now that job AI can do like this. So, in this era of AI, how to be irreplaceable if you are a mechanical engineer? You need to learn softwares, but here we all know that we need to learn those softwares. But in this video, beyond only the name, I will talk about how to learn those specifically in this AI era and how to be unstoppable in that placement interview, how to be unstoppable during your career journey. So, if you are a MTech student, this video is a must for you. And if you are a BTech student, then also this video will be much helpful for you. No matter if you are going for corporate interviews or for research interviews, this video will be a gem for you. After this video, you will be knowing specifically that which softwares you need to learn, the sources from which you will be able to learn almost for free, and how to build yourself, how to not build your resume only, but how to build yourself so that companies cannot ignore you while the placement season comes. So, without any delay, let me start. So, firstly, I will talk about the softwares. You know that what is the first software that you need to learn as a mechanical engineer? Right now, it is ANSYS. Right now, it is ANSYS if you want to go for a job. So, why it is ANSYS? If you are a mechanical engineer and if you want a job in the core area, in the core R&D, ANSYS is used by everyone, starting from I mean aerospace to the manufacturing engineering. If you want to simulate something, ANSYS is a go-to tool. Now, I will just starting. I will uh, presenting my screen just a bit. Okay. So now I think you can see my screen, right? So here you just search ANSYS student version. This is free. And to start ANSYS, this is more than enough, right? You just go to this and download ANSYS for desktop, download ANSYS for Windows. Everything is there, right? So now from where to actually learn ANSYS? You see the answer is YouTube. So YouTube is our most friendly teacher, right? So if I go to YouTube, right? If I go to YouTube and if I search right now, why it is taking so much time to load? Sorry about that. Okay, now you search ANSYS courses, ANSYS course, right? So you take any of these things. So maybe if you are a CFD engineer, you want to simulate some fluid situation, then you take maybe flow past a cylinder. If you want to learn ANSYS structural, then you take maybe bending of a beam or buckling of a column. Everything that is a standard case, bending of a beam, flows through, flow past a cylinder. Everything is in YouTube. First, you just see the video and try to imitate that. Try to imitate that. That will, in that way, it will take time, but there is no other way. I have talked with many professionals that how did you learn ANSYS? The only answer is just by practicing. No other answers because ANSYS is such a big software. There is so many features in it that if I mean, so even if someone creates a course in ANSYS, they will not be able to grasp it unless you practice it. So there is no other way to learn other than practice. You pick up any video. Okay, so these are very strong videos, very hard simulations. You just search here maybe flow past a cylinder. Okay, cylinder. Okay, flow past a cylinder. Yes, see the first video. It is an ANSYS simulation. It is a 16-minute video. Flow over a ANSYS Sprint CFD tutorial. You see, so you just open it and you see, right? So the video is going on here and you just do the same thing that the in the video the teacher is doing, right? So likewise you replicate multiple videos. First you simulate flow past a cylinder, bending of a pipe, then maybe you simulate uh the lead driven cavity flow and then buckling of a column and maybe harder ones. Likewise, the more you practice, the more you will learn, right? any other software. So first, let me just complete the software things. Okay. So the second thing right now, the second thing will be your SolidWorks, right? SolidWorks. So here you can see that SolidWorks for students, SolidWorks normal, so free downloads, everything is there. And what is most special that if you're starting something, SolidWorks for students is fine. So in SolidWorks, you will be making structures. So the same thing here, maybe you will just write that how to make a flange in SolidWorks. In SolidWorks. Same thing. Any kind of a software is like a video game. You see how to design a flange. So this is a short, but there are videos. SolidWorks tutorial how to make flange. Okay, there are videos. So see, like a video game. How do you learn a video game? At first, are you the expert in any new video game? You are not, right? You become an expert when you more and when you play more and more and more. And there are more features in the video game, which you come to know, and about which you take the control after practicing it, after playing it for a several amount of times. The same is the case for this one. For any software, you have to play with it, you have to play with its features. Then only you will have a tight grip on it, right? So the same thing, you just draw the things in the SolidWorks by seeing the YouTube videos. You just make the parts. Okay. So let me move to the next software. The next software is maybe your uh, Python or MATLAB. Now, this one, Python or MATLAB. You see, we always overhype these languages. Okay, so Python or MATLAB, this also you can download. So Python is easily available in Google Colab. You can do some Python coding. So Google Colab, right? So if you search Google Colab, they will say welcome to Google Colab, and if you just go to it, there will be a new notebook. There will be a new notebook, and here you can actually code it. Now you see why I say that we overhype it. See, these are just language. The basic math doesn't change. The basic matrix algebra doesn't change. So, and now in the AI era, see, here you have to learn to use the era. See here, if I say continue, then hello Shubham, how can I help you? So, if I just write here that write a code for matrix addition, addition, right? So it will do that. It will do that, right? So right now, learning Python or MATLAB is not an issue at all. If you know the basic maths, you see it has uh, it has written a basic function to add two matrices, right, by itself. So that is the thing. Okay. So example, you said accept. So accept now the the code is yours, right? So like that, you can see that the whole code is written. So like that, you have to practice it. Okay. And again, I'm saying that no matter, you don't have to mug up the syntax, which was the case for previous era. That either you have to search it through Google and all the things, you have to memorize the syntax. Now you don't have to memorize the syntax. The AI is integrated with the softwares, with these online softwares, of online free softwares. Okay, so you can just put the you have to just know about the basic numerical methods, basic fundamentals, basic maths, and you can code it by the help of AI. You don't have to memorize the syntax. As simple as that. Now these three things, if you are a mechanical engineer, either you are going to thermal or design or manufacturing. So manufacturing is a mix up of thermal and design, by the way. So either you are simulating some fluid situation for that ANSYS fluent is there, or you are simulating some kind of a structure situation for that ANSYS structural is there. Now you also need to know some code for MATLAB or Python, that how to do some coding. So you don't need to know the syntax again, but you should have some or the other experience, right? And thirdly, the SolidWorks. If you want to design something. So in ANSYS, you cannot directly put any geometry, or you cannot directly draw any geometry very easy. So first you design it in the SolidWorks, then you import the geometry in ANSYS. And other than these three things, there are more software. If you are a researcher, then COMSOL is very important. In some industries, also COMSOL is used. Other than that, a substitute of SolidWorks is CATIA. There are more AutoCAD softwares, right? But SolidWorks and CATIA, they are very, very, highly, uh, they're, reputed softwares. And you can also do some official certifications. So SolidWorks, they conduct their own examination to get a SolidWorks certified engineer, right? SolidWorks certified person. That means you have a very good grip in SolidWorks. So yes, so uh, if you have the certification, that proves that you have a very good grip in it, right? And other than Python, you can use obviously MATLAB. And there are some other softwares like Simulink. You can also learn that. But these three softwares, if you can operate even in a very basic level, that will do. But now, hey, now the part is very important. You see that now this era is not very far that ANSYS will also integrate some AI with it, and you have to just put a command that simulate the flow past the cylinder, and it will do that job for you. Then you will be laid off, right? But you will not be laid off if you have a very good grip in CFD. And this is why we avoid at this time. Previously, when people did not have ANSYS or ANSYS or COMSOL, they used to write their own code for which you have to know the basic CFD, you have to know the basic finite element methods very well. Otherwise, you will not be able to code. But right now, things have become like video game. You just click a button on ANSYS, uh, you just click a button on console, and things will be simulated. And we barely know that what is the simple method, and what is the simplex method, and other solvers, what does they do? We barely know that, and that is our problem. Where AI can do everything, you have to think that what AI cannot do, or more importantly, what we will not AI let do it. Understood? That see, the answer is, if you make a bridge, AI can make the bridge. But as a human, can you trust on AI 100%? At least not right now. And I think that up to 50 to 100 years, it will not be that case. So AI will obviously do our work, but we have to check that. Without checking that, we cannot give it a final license, right? So likewise, if it is simulating a flow past the cylinder by itself, then are you able to judge that whether it has used the correct numerical method or not? Are you able to judge that if the solutions are consistent with the boundary conditions or not? Are you able to judge that if the error and residuals, they are less enough or not? Are you able to judge that if the mesh that the ANSYS or COMSOL has taken, has it used correctly or not? For SolidWorks, are you able to judge that the physical and mechanical constraints that the part should have, that is already there or not? The AI has made the part, and you have to judge all these things. So how you can judge all these things? You have to make those expertise. So right now, learning to operate ANSYS is not enough. You have to learn CFD as well. You have to learn that when should I use which method in these softwares very clearly and in detail. If I ask you that for this problem, which solver do you use? Which solver will you use? If you are not able to tell that, then you are using ANSYS like a video game only. That you click this button and you see what happens, then you just memorize that. No, you have to know that, okay, this scheme is written here, this solver name is written here. I will use this solver if this situation arises. I will use that solver if this problem is given. That you have to know. So previously, when AI was not there, If you know ANSYS, then then it is good. But now it is not good because to learn ANSYS is not a very hard task right now. You have everything for free. You have free materials in YouTube and all those things, right? But there are very few people who are the expert who know that what is happening behind the black box. You have to know at least a bit of that. So if I summarize, ANSYS, SolidWorks, MATLAB, Python, okay, these three software, ANSYS, SolidWorks, and either of MATLAB or Python, these three softwares can make you unstoppable in that placement interview. And most importantly, in this era, learning to operate ANSYS is not that much of a very highly, reputed CV. Learning just to operate SolidWorks is not that much good. You have to know the basics. You have to know that what is going in the black box. That is very important. So build the software skill and the basic fundamentals simultaneously. And this should be interesting. When you are operating something in ANSYS, so if you know, okay, so then flow past the cylinder, this is a very highly unsteady thing. That means I need a very low time step. But I also need to satisfy the, CFL criteria. So I need to take I need to take care of all these things. And that is why I will use this scheme. And then you use this other scheme and you see that either it is taking more time to just converge or it will give you a inconsistent result. So try it. Build build yourself along with the software skills. Build your inner skills, build your fundamentals. That will make you unstoppable. I hope that this video has helped you a lot. If you find this video helpful, please share it with your friends. And if you think that this guy is trying to do something for you, please subscribe this channel and please give that thumbs up and make some comment whatever you feel. If you do not feel if you feel that I don't like this video, these things are not good for me, I want something else, also you can write that thing. And if you want to book a one-on-one session with me, link is in the pinned comment. Until the next video or until the next one-on-one session, goodbye, take care, and